Okay, good morning. Take two. Stebby Scott here, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Brigden, Ontario. And it is Monday, September the 15th. We're halfway through the month. Goes so quickly, doesn't it? Okay, I think we're working here now. So it is Make a Card Monday. So we're going to be making a card using the Gathering Moments bundle. And this bundle is part of a suite. And I have a picture here. I believe this is an online exclusive. I don't think this is in the catalog. But either way, you can just find it on our website or just shoot me a message if you need some help ordering. So it's got this great bundle included in it, a great stamp set. It's a red rubber stamp and a really great die set. Like, look at that huge leaf, those huge leaves. They're a nice big size, great for scrapbook pages, those big ones. And I've seen some beautiful cards made with the big ones as well. And also the bundle, there is some great paper. There's a great paper pack here. There is an embossing folder, which I did order, but it's not going to be here until Wednesday. So maybe it will be here in time for my live on Wednesday. But it's got just some, I think it's oak leaves on the embossing folder. And then we have the two different linen threads. There's Early Espresso and Old Olive, two of my favorite colors. So yeah, that's included in the suite. So it's $140.25 for everything here. Of course, you can always order everything separately as well. Oh, also there's some great embellishments as well. I don't have those ones. These ones are, I believe, Cajun Craze with a little gold fleck in them. Because I think maybe the paper has some gold in it as well. But I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure I did see that. But I am not working with that paper today. I'm going to bring in the Autumn Toile paper again. And we're going to be using the pumpkin paper today. So as you see, I don't have even a full sheet of it left because I have just loved it so much. I have some scrapbook pages to share with you on Wednesday using that great paper. So we'll go ahead and get started here. Oh, one thing I want to note about the dies. These dies, you can do just the outline. I have seen people cut out just the outline and then use the embossing folder to emboss it or kind of scrunch it up and give it a little bit of texture. You could watercolor with it. Or the other thing you can do is use it together with the inside piece. And the inside piece has some, whoops, the die went flying, has some holes in it so you can do some stitching on those leaves. So this is a really great die set, very versatile. Alrighty, so we have lots of stamping today. We're going to be using lots of little bits and pieces. I'm just going to set that aside. So I think we will start with stamping some of our leaves and little things here. So first we are going to use our Cajun Craze. This is an old stamps pad. These are the newer ones. This is what your stamp pad would look like if you ordered it. This is just an old one, and it actually looks pretty rough on it, but it doesn't work too badly. So I just have some scrap pieces of vanilla that I'm going to be using to stamp my leaves and things, and then we're going to die cut them. So we're going to use one of the big leaf in Cajun Craze. And then I just have my chamois here that I'm going to be cleaning off my stamps with so I can use my block. That's all for Cajun Craze. Next, we're going to do this leaf image. And we need one of it in Mossy Meadow. And then also in Mossy Meadow, we're going to do this little leaf image. But this one we're going to stamp off. And we need two of this one. So I'm just stamping off on a scrap piece of paper over here, and that just makes my image a little bit lighter. That's all for Mossy Meadow. Early Espresso, we are going to do the little acorn. I think the acorn is my favorite image. It's just so cute. I think I had a little piece here, yeah. I'm going to do one acorn. And then while we've got our early espresso out, we're also going to stamp Thankful for You. And that's going to be the greeting for the front. Of our card. And that is all for that. And then I've got some crushed curry. And I did the little berries in crushed curry. We're going to use two of those. I love working with fall sets. Yeah. Just, I like the colors and all the imagery. It's great. Even though I really am a summer girl at heart. Pecan pie, we're going to stamp the little mushroom. He's a cute little image as well. And I just want to make sure that I leave enough room around each image so that I can die cut it. Just don't want to get it too close. That's all for that. I think that's all of our stamping for the front. So then we're going to use our dies. We're going to line those up. I like to use some Post-it tape. You can use Post-it notes or washi tape works really great just to line those up before you run them through. I already have some ran through here because I didn't want you to have to sit and watch me die cut all of those out. So it does take a little while. So that's all of our pieces there, plus our greeting, Thankful for You. And I am going to die cut these out. I won't be wasting them and using them on my layout for Wednesday. I kind of have it planned. already. The greeting I cut out using our Stylish Shapes dies. I used this flag die here. And then the other thing I have cut out, this is the only thing that I brought in that wasn't current or part of this suite, was I just wanted this little sprig, just this little twig, I guess. And I've cut it out 3 times. We're going to use some bits and pieces of those. So that came from Seasonal Branches, which is a retired set. But a lot of our sets, our die sets, our nature ones, will come with some sort of like twig or something in there. Okay. So I have cut a piece of our Designer Series paper. And this is actually the same piece. I've just flipped over the bottom. So this is, let me just measure here. In total, your DSP is going to be 5 inches by 3 3/4. And then I have cut it at, well, the bottom piece is 2 3/4. So it's 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. This one is 3 3/4 by 2 1/4. And then I have cut a piece of Early Espresso, and that is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. So I just wanted a tiny little bit of brown showing around the outside there. So I'm going to go ahead and put those, whoops, put that down. This would be a great card to take if someone else is hosting Thanksgiving dinner, or someone that's just done something sweet for you that you want to thank them for. Or maybe just a friend that you're thinking about that you just want to tell them that you're happy that they're in your life. So I did cut out 2 card bases. So I wasn't 100% sure which color I wanted to go to. That really pops. I think actually I'm going to decorate the front, and then after we have this all complete, then I will decide which one looks better. Any thoughts out there? What do you think? We have Cajun Craze and we have Gray Granite. So we'll set those aside here and put our card together, and then we'll decide for sure. So the first thing I'm going to do is just lay down one of our twigs, just like that. And I'm just going to take a tiny piece of tear and tape. This is all going to be covered. So that's just going to go over like that. Now you could just leave that covered. I'm going to take this off because then it serves dual purpose. So we have our big leaf here. And we're going to put a dimensional on the end and just some flat adhesive on the other end. I'm going to lay that down first. And then we're going to do the same for our leaf, our other leaf. And that's going to go about there, I would say. I kind of like having the dimensional on the one end, gives it a little bit more, more dimension on your card. Makes it look nice. This one's going to go kind of underneath our twig here. And then I'm going to put a second piece here as well. This one, I don't want to stick out the bottom, so I'm just going to trim it. And that's going to go there. Maybe, yes, I want it underneath this leaf. I think that looks good. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use just a little bit of tear tape. And then this one. I did have this card, like I've got a sample here as well that I'm kind of trying to make it look the same, but it's kind of hard when you just have things. I just kind of tucked things in as I went. It's hard to get it exactly the same the second time. And the little berries, I'm just going to put those on flat. So this is going to go here to kind of cover up our mess in the middle there with our little mushroom on top. So I think that looks good. Just going to use my bone folder, give this a bit of a curl. And I'm going to do the same with this. I'm going to put a dimensional on this end and use flat adhesive on the other end, because we're going to have quite a bit of dimension underneath our mushroom once we get it all finished. This one doesn't show very much, but I don't know if we'll be able to move it. Oh, a little bit. There, that looks better. And before I put that mushroom down, I have taken some of that trim. What is it called? Irregular weave trim. It's part of the Autumn Toile suite. I've just cut off a small little amount and folded it in half. And then I've used some of our early espresso linen thread and just added a bow around there. So that's going to go there, and then our mushroom over top. So I'm just going to use a glue dot to adhere that. We're just going to put that on a bit of an angle here. And then I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on this little mushroom. And then hopefully we can kind of get the middle of the mushroom will be right where our knot is. Oh, I forgot my acorn. I've got to add him on. Perfect. Might have to trim those down a little bit. We'll see. And my acorn, I think I'm just going to put it on flat as well. Give it a little curl. And then I'm just going to use a glue dot. And we'll just tuck him under here. Oh, I didn't use my third one here. I should put that, oh, that works good. Should put it down before I put my berries down. There we go. Okay, so we've got the 2 different colors. It's a nice and quick card, actually, once you get everything stamped and die cut. So we have, oh, actually, I do kind of like that too. I really thought that I was going to choose the Cajun Craze. Actually really like both. And on my sample, I used vanilla. I'll show you that after. You can compare. I think Cajun Craze. Any thoughts? Anyone have a preference? I did forget to cut my inside piece, so I'm going to do that. Whoops. And for those, I cut them at 5 1/4 by 4. I think I'm going to go with the Cajun Craze. Helps those pumpkins to stand out. And I'm going to pop those up. I just have to reach my dimensionals. Sorry, I got to the other side of the table. There we go. And because there's so much dimension in the center of my card, I'm not going to bother putting one in the middle. Because if it does sink down, it's okay because we have lots of dimension here with our mushroom. Now for the inside of the card, I have here, your friendship means the world to me. And I'm going to stamp that in early espresso. And then I thought maybe we'd stamp a couple leaves on here. I'm going to use this bigger one. And I'm going to do that in Cajun Craze. Maybe one up here. So this Cajun Craze is super light. If you got a fresh ink pad, it would be quite a bit darker than this. I don't mind it being a bit lighter, so I haven't bothered to replace it. It's also not a color I use a ton of. But just know that if you ordered that one, it would be a lot darker than what I've got here. There we go. So there's one in vanilla and one in Cajun Craze. And I know my favorite is definitely the vanilla. Or, pardon me, the Cajun Craze. Oh, I was going to add some streaked dots. Those are the ones I got. I didn't get the ones that coordinate with this suite. But these ones look really nice on here too. So I'm going to add those on. Do a small one up there. There. All right, so which is your favorite? Do you like the Cajun Craze or the vanilla better? I am going to call it a day. I have a busy week, but I am going to work on my layout for Wednesday a bit, and then I'll be back on Wednesday. So I really appreciate you watching my video, and the replay will stay on Facebook for a month, and then I will try to get this one moved over to YouTube. So thanks so much for watching, and until Wednesday, have a good week. Bye.